What is up, YouTube fragrance family and friends? Tommy with Studio Sense here. Welcome to another video review and or list today. You know, if you're a small town boy like me, you're not used to the city life, specifically the city nightlife. But let me tell you, in the summertime, when the weather starts getting warmer, the city comes alive, especially at night, because there's so many more activities to get into, so many more fun things to do when the weather is warmer and the climate is perfect for outdoor activities that lead to indoor activities. If you haven't caught on to what I'm referring to, it's the date night scenario. It is important to be, feel, look, and smell your best. So today we're going to take a look at 7 fragrances that will make sure you're smelling your best for those date nights and you're not spending a fortune to do so. That and more, so stay tuned. Welcome back, guys. So today we're talking about 7 fragrances that are sultry, sexy, summer night scents for men that are affordable. Now there's quite a few fragrances out there that are super expensive that are great date night fragrances. We're not talking about those. We're talking about those that are very economical and very accessible. A specific type or genre of fragrances, and today we have 7 of them to feature for you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into our list. The very first scent that we're going to take a look at is from the house of Lacoste, and there's a nod towards what it can be used for in the name of the fragrance itself. L1212 Magnetic or Pour Louis Magnetic is just that. It's a very magnetic, fresh floral fragrance. It opens with a floral artemisia. You get a sharp bracing juniper note in there and a really light woody bamboo, which I love bamboo fragrances. You've got a nice light but substantive geranium, violet, and tea in the heart, with a dose of earthy yet modern patchouli, vetiver, and ambroxan in the base, making this a fantastic, not only for date nights, but it also could be an all-around signature scent, as this is one that you can wear in pretty much any situation, any scenario, and you're going to smell appropriate. That is L1212 Magnetic or Eau de Lacoste Pour Louis Magnetic from Lacoste. Next up is a fragrance from the house that I talked about yesterday as being one of those houses that we often forget, yet they produce a significant amount of fragrances that are largely really solid fragrances for men. It is the house of Diesel. Only the Brave is a really nice iconic line. Now this specifically, Only the Brave Extreme, is a very fresh, sweet date night fragrance. It's not necessarily specifically a date night fragrance, but it's sweet enough to be very magnetic. You've got Primavera lemon, mandarin orange, and coriander in the top. A nice trio of flowers plus fruit. You've got rose, apple, and violet in the heart, resting on a simple base of earthy patchouli and lightly sweet and warm tonka bean. This is a heady, alluring, sweet mix of fragrant notes that'll have the person sitting across from you leaning in closer for more to get more of that scent. It's one of the underrated Only the Braves, and I think it should be talked about more, and as a date night fragrance, it will do exactly what you want it to do. Only the Brave Extreme by Diesel. Our next fragrance came out in 2012. It is from the German house Joop. Joop Homme Wild. Now I'm not wild about the presentation. I'm not sure why they're using like these Western looking letters as if this is gonna smell like tumbleweed or desert dust or the bottom of your boot. Not sure why they're doing that. That is not the kind of fragrance this is. It's actually a really nice, lightly tobacco-based magnetic fragrance. It opens with a nice burst of pink pepper. You've got some fougere or lightly green notes in the heart, along with some rum that gives it kind of a boozy feel or vibe. And in the base, you've got that blonde tobacco that I mentioned, along with some other lighter woods to fix everything and bind everything together. It's a nice Joop fragrance. You can smell that Joop influence or DNA in this, but it has enough of a tobacco and rummy effect that I really like it as a lightly boozy, nice date night alternative at a fraction of the cost of many other fragrances that are similar to this. That is Joop Homme Wild. One of my favorite date night fragrances that has come out in the last few years, or really just all around nighttime fragrances, from the house of Mercedes-Benz. Mercedes-Benz Select Night was produced in 2019. Got a trio of bergamot, cardamom, and lavender in the open. Got some cedar wood, guaiac wood, and orange blossom in the heart, so really focus on woods there. You'll notice a little bit of citrus. Resting on a nice creamy sandalwood, vanilla, and patchouli. So while you do get a little bit of a vanillic aspect or influence in this in the base, primarily you're getting a really nice spicy woody effect. That vanilla just adds to the creaminess of the overall feel along with the sandalwood. It's an extremely effective date night or nighttime scent simply because it pulls you in. It's got that same magnetic pull that most boozy or vanillic fragrances do that are date night fragrances, and yet it maintains a sophistication that is on par with most Mercedes-Benz fragrances. Just really, really good addition to the line, this Mercedes Select line. Relatively inexpensive, super accessible, and unique. Not very many people are wearing this fragrance. That's what I like about Mercedes-Benz fragrances. This in particular, Select Night, as a date night staple, it's gonna be something new to the nose sitting across from you. Definitely worth checking out. Mercedes-Benz Select Night. Our next sultry, sexy summertime scent for men that is affordable is from the house of Lolita Lempicka. Lempicka Homme is said to be a replacement for one of their OG fragrances. Whether that's the case or not, I don't care. This is a fantastic, lightly licorice, meaty, near gourmand, lightly boozy fragrance that is perfect for date night scenarios. In fact, it opens with that absinthe. You've got aniseed to give it that licorice feel and a little bit of ivy to give it some fougere or green effect. In the heart, you've got violet wood, orgeat syrup, and rum. Also giving it that rummy or boozy overall vibe. Resting on a base of that seductive cedarwood, cistus, musk, and vanilla base. Lempicka Homme is one of those fragrances that kind of sneaks up on you. A tester strip doesn't do it justice. You really got to wear this one. It just pulls anything within a 10-foot radius or 5-foot radius into its orbit. Once you get someone you're interested in the orbit of your Lempicka Homme, they're there to stay, at least until they figure out what you're wearing and what it all means. Our next scent is an underrated gem that doesn't get enough attention in my book because there are some other fragrances in this line that take the limelight, literally steal the limelight from this particular fragrance. It's from the house or designer of Jesus del Pozo. Yes, Halloween Man Rock On is slightly a cheesy name. I mean, that's like, nobody says that anymore, I don't think. It has fallen off the edge of the Urban Dictionary, but Rock On is actually a really nice red genre fragrance. Very warm, it's very seductive, it is perfect for date nights. Similar to Eau de Lacoste Pour Louis Magnetic, this one also has bamboo in the open, along with cardamom, a bit of red pepper, and some lemon. You've got lavender, rosemary, violet, and red apple in the heart, resting on a very manly, masculine amber, moss, musk, and sandalweed. Sandalwood, sorry. So obviously with the musk, the moss, the sandalwood, and sandalweed, you're getting a really fragrant, masculine, woody base to bind everything together, along with a little bit of, you got some citrusy lemon, some red apple to give it a meaty, fruity feel. Perfect fit for the red genre, but it's just one of those warm, seductive date night staples that you often forget about. Extremely inexpensive. A Halloween Man or Halloween Man X in particular has stolen or taken the limelight from the other flankers that are actually really good, and Rock On is one of those date night staples. Very inexpensive as a result. I highly recommend checking it out if you haven't. Halloween Man Rock On is a great date night staple. Last but not least, in our sexy, sultry, summertime fragrances for men that are extremely affordable, is a fragrance from the house of Ulrich de Varens. Ulrich de Varens Star is a very nice fragrance that is extremely overlooked. It is not really talked about. It's right now, I think even fragrance.net has it on clearance for less than 15 bucks for a 100 ml bottle. It is an eau de toilette concentration. What makes it a nice date night staple is it's just a very simple fragrance. It opens with a basic citrus body with bergamot and mandarin orange. You get some nice segue spices with lavender and sage in the heart, and then it rests on a leather and patchouli base. So super simplistic profile, but the results are very masculine, very manly, and I think they're great for date night simply because it's just a warm representation of a manly feel or stance. Not only is it lightly hinting at old school, but it's also got that modern feel or spin to it as well, to let them know they're dating someone or with someone that has a progressive outlook on not only their fragrance, but their lifestyle. Ulrich de Veren's or UDV Star came out in 2017, but it has that modern sensibility about it that makes it feel like a timeless fragrance. Well, that pretty much wraps up our look at 7 inexpensive, sultry, sexy summertime staples for men. There are a literal ton of fragrances out there that we could talk about that are great date night or nighttime fragrances, or just all-around great signature scents that don't get a lot of love or press or airtime. If you have a particular fragrance or two or grouping of fragrances that fits that bill, let us know what those are. And if you've got experience with these that I talked about today, let us know that as well. Thanks so much for checking out today's video, and as always, thank you so much for your support on my channel. I'm Tommy with Studio Scents, and I'll see you tomorrow.